What's good, everybody? It is Wednesday, January 26, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting. Now, last night, pretty good day at the brand. It's always nice when you've got Alabama, who seems to hit every single hockey pick. That over hit early second period, 5 goals in the first period. Crazy what she does with her hockey plays. Then the Lakers, on the eve of the 2-year anniversary, which is today, rest in peace, number 24, number 8, Mr. Kobe Bryant. All right, let's bring in the stars of the show on this special day in sports history, and we're going to go 5 wide this morning. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the Penthouse Level M Squared. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, fellas. Hopefully my mic is working today. If you watched the mega preview yesterday, had some issues with that, so let me know if it is not. But fired up. We got a good golf tournament this week. Love that we're starting early so it doesn't interfere with NFL Sunday. Love that idea.
It's a great idea, Mikey, because guess what? Me and little coach JJ will be at the final round on Saturday, and then I can still do the 2 shows with you guys on Sunday. It's going to be a great weekend. 60 miles from where I'm sitting right now. I love Torrey Pines. Now, live from New York City. They call him the Machine. Well, he calls himself the Machine. Jay Smooth, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. I don't know if that was something I named myself, actually, but you know, whatever. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Happy to be here. Excited.
Would you like to go back to the video? We can pull up the video.
Let's get the replay, man. Let's get the replay. Let's see.
Oh, no. He wants to challenge me. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. I'll put my money down. But no, excited to be here. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Let's get after it.
All right, let's get it also live from Las Vegas. Zacatech. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I had a red X next to that play with Cal State Northridge yesterday. This kid, 6'10" forward, Miles Norris, was 9 for 9 from 3-point range. He came out in the second half. It was a 2-point game. He had to bet the best shooter in all of basketball yesterday, NBA and in college, but he was red hot. I did hit a site play with Ball State. I always have a couple more plays on the site, being on the West Coast here. I try to have one play for the show and then a couple more that I'll have on the site later on today.
You need to be a SportsLine member. You get all the picks. So then you're like, oh, the one from the show didn't hit. What about the 4 from the site that did? Come on, come join us. Now, finally, he is our anchor. He is the maestro. Good morning, Larry.
Coach, I don't know if you're calling that tournament or just going to that tournament, but I've never been to a golf tournament in person at that level, and I would just love to go and just see what it's like to be with you at a tournament and who you hobnob with and what the atmosphere is like. I just want to, you got to take me one time.
Maestro, that is a done deal. Done deal. It's so much fun. I'm not calling it this weekend. My first tournament that I will call this year is the Players' Championship, which I'm very, very excited about as well. But you can go with me anytime. We're going to make that happen. All right, let's get into our board for the day. Storylines that could affect the betting lines. Let's start with the NFL, and we're going right back because in Kansas City, yes, it's all good. We want a spectacular, historic game, but we now have to turn it forward to how healthy are the Chiefs this week against the Bengals. Maestro.
Good news coming out of sources in Kansas City that both Tyrann Mathieu and Rashad Fenton should be back for this game. Mathieu with a concussion. Fenton was out with the back injury. Mathieu obviously more important because when he's on the field, it means less of Daniel Sorensen. I mean, if you watch this guy get burned this year, especially by Dawson Knox and other tight ends, it was pretty ugly. He did play better second half of the season, but in limited snaps. You don't want this guy on the field every snap. So Mathieu, obviously a huge gain for them. And Fenton is better than the backups that they have, Mike Hughes and others. So great news for the Chiefs coming into this week.
All right. Very, very good. I love that report from the Maestro. Now, I need to stop the show right here and right now. We have a very important question in the chat. A, B, show your face. Or don't.
Or don't.
Or don't. Oh, there he is. There he is. Now, in the chat, my man Bo says, Coach, you say it all the time, but where do I go to subscribe to SportsLine?
Yep. You're going to go to sportsline.com/join. Use promo code EDGE. Get 30 days for free on the coach, and that'll get you all the way through the Super Bowl.
Let's go. Or they could just become a full member right now and don't use the promo code EDGE, right? You could do that.
Yep.
You could do that.
Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about it. All right. Thank you, AB. Get out of here. Get out. All right, let's get back to the show now. College basketball has been a very, very difficult sport to handicap. And there has been line movement, it seems like, every single day. Zach, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, Coach, with the availability of watching college basketball nowadays, you can pretty much watch almost all the games. I just have YouTube TV and ESPN Plus, and I'm able to watch almost all the games. And what I'm noticing in the small conference, there's been some aggressive line moves all season long, but yesterday for the first time, usually it's not right, but yesterday for the first time, I noticed a lot of these aggressive line movements right after the show yesterday were actually proper. If you remember, Rhode Island was a 2.5 point favorite against Richmond. That line flipped. Richmond was a 1 point favorite. It proved to be correct. Minnesota St. Thomas, they were a 7 point underdog. It went all the way up to 9.5, and North Dakota State just absolutely blew them out. In the MAC, Eastern Michigan was a 6.5 point underdog. The line jumped to 8 for Bowling Green, blew them out as well. And then my play, I have to go talk about it as well. Cal State North was 6.5 point underdog, went up to 8, and obviously that second half was not even close. So these line movements were aggressive yesterday. That's something to watch with these smaller conference if this continues.
And also in the big boy conferences, the Big Ten, Michigan State opened +6 or so against Illinois. Everybody was worried about Coburn. And then Curbelo also doesn't play because of the flu. That went down first to 4.5. And then when those were confirmed, went down to +2. And what happens? Michigan State gets to the line down 2, misses 1. It ends at 1. So the move was right in that case as well.
Yeah, that was
I just
what you got.
I just wanted to shout out Mad Max in the Thunderdome last night. He took Richmond against my URI in a little mini Twitter showdown for a URI jersey because they debuted some new jerseys last night, and URI didn't score a single bucket for the last 6 minutes. And Fordham and Richmond came back and won the game. So crazy game there. Shout out to Max.
Yeah, I played Rhode Island from SportsLine. Told me to play Rhode Island. You told me to play Rhode Island, but I never blame anybody. Doesn't matter. But I'm glad that you high school kids over there could do a little bet of a jersey. That's cute. That's very, very cute. All right, let's get into our board for the day. We've got a full board. One play from SportsLine, and this one, I'm all about it. The Clippers -1. Last night, second half, they're down 30 at halftime. They were down 35 in the first half. When they came back and they won. The second biggest comeback of all time. The third in the month of January for the Clippers of 24 points or more. They said they don't want to do that anymore. They want to play from in front. Tonight, let's do that against the worst team in all of basketball, the Orlando Magic. All right, now let's get into our boards for the day. Now, Mike, you already mentioned there is golf 60 miles from where I'm sitting right now. The Farmers Insurance Open. I call it the unofficial start of the 2022 calendar. 6 of the top 10 players in the world will be teeing it up at the North Course and the South Course. So, Mikey, on this Wednesday, we never get to do this in golf, hardly. You know the drill, son! Oh, put that tee in the ground. Give it to me.
You said it, Coach. This is basically the start of the season in my mind as well. I love this matchup here between Will Zalatoris +100 against Scotty Scheffler. This track sets up really well for Will Zalatoris. You need to be accurate off the tee, long off the tee, gaining strokes off the tee, gaining strokes on the approach. That is what Will Zalatoris does really well. He also does it really well in some of these stacked, loaded fields at tough golf courses. That's what he's done so far throughout his career. I love this number at +100. Scotty Scheffler, you could argue, has the ability to do the same thing. That's probably why they're paired in a matchup together. However, I don't think this is a great spot for him. He is not good with the flat stick. Zalatoris isn't a great putter either, but POA is the one surface that he actually has positive numbers on. So I am fading Scotty Scheffler here. Love Will Zalatoris. Again, just crushes these kind of events. All the events that he's had top 10s at in his career that have been difficult fields have all been on the longer side as well. I just think it's a perfect recipe for Zalatoris, who fired that 61 last week after a terrible opening round to come back and finish D6.
Yeah, this dude is just built different. He is a different kind of cat. There's no doubt about it. Scotty Scheffler to me is just it's just way too inconsistent for me to back him on a normal basis. I love this play. By the way, I know it's not funny because we get frustrated when our equipment doesn't work, but Pooh Bear says, can we start a GoFundMe for Mikey's mic cable? You were kind of dipping in and out just a little bit, but my man Pooh Bear, you guys are incredible in the chat. You always make us laugh. All right, I love that first play. Now, I want to go to college basketball, but I need not one, I need two plays. So I need a machine, somebody that can just churn out picks, pick after pick after pick. Jay Smooth, floor is yours.
That is what I am here to do, Coach. So let's get right to it. I'm going to focus on two matchups out of the A10. I happen to like this. I find that this conference normally has some lines that you can get some value on. So let's get right to it. I'm going to take George Mason at home plus the 3 points against St. Bonaventures. Some models out there are actually predicting this as a pretty solid win for the George Mason team here. Bonnies aren't the team that they were last year, 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. Hasn't been pretty. Some interesting conference wins in the last couple days, but I don't know. This is one of the better George Mason teams in the last few years. They're leading the entire conference in conference play in their 2-point efficiency right now. So they're getting good looks at the basket. They make a lot of good cuts. And I think that with St. Bonaventure's style of play, they might have a hard time defending those takes to the basket. I think George Mason should be able to maybe even get this one done. They're 7-1 at home this year, straight up. So this would be only their second home loss if they don't win. But +3 seems a little big. I'm going to grab the points with the home underdog. And then next, I'm going to go to St. Joe's. This is another interesting one. Duquesne hasn't really been all that great this year. They're due for a little bit of road regression. Actually, they've been decent on the road, but usually things do even out over the course of the season. So I expect them to regress a little bit here today on the road. Duquesne has the third worst defensive efficiency in the conference right now. So I do think that the St. Joe's team, who is pretty consistent, can get it done. I think, again, St. Joe's should be able to speed the pace up. Duquesne likes to slow it down, but I think that accelerated pace from St. Joe's should be maybe a little bit too much to handle. And if they can get some offensive boards, it's not even going to be close. So watch for the battle on the boards and take the home favorite in St. Joe's.
Shout out to Bick Rabjit in the chat. He says, I'm watching you guys from India. Also, Jay Smooth, he says St. Joe's is very popular in India right now.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Cool.
I got a random stat that they're really big in India. By the way, Bick Rabjit, I know I'm saying your name wrong and I apologize. First of all, tell all your friends in India to watch us too. We want all of you guys. But also put it into the chat. What's your favorite sport in India to bet on? Tell everybody in the chat what you guys bet on in India the most. I'm interested.
Probably cricket.
It probably is. If he says college basketball, I'm going to flip. Or she. It could be a she too. I don't know. But we love having you. Thank you so much for telling us you're in India today. All right. Now let's stay in college hoops. Because, Zach, if there's one thing I know about you, that when you lose a game, the next day, usually you are so laser focused, I don't even want to get in your way. What do you got today?
All right, Coach, I'm going to the Southern Conference with East Tennessee State -3 against UNC Greensboro. Both of these teams not where they're usually at in conference play right now. East Tennessee State's just 4-4, UNC Greensboro 3-4. But I picked on this Greensboro team a couple times already this year just based on the way they score. They don't score very well, 63 points per game, ranked 383rd in the country. I look at this spot for East Tennessee State. This is their chance to improve in the standings. If they get this win today, they have a couple of easy games coming up against VMI, Western Carolina, and a Wofford team that's been struggling as well. So if they can get this win, I think they can get 3 or 4 wins and improve in the standings, which they're 4th right now. So I think they'll bounce back. They had a tough home loss against Citadel that was just 8-10. I think they bounce back here on a small number against Greensboro.
It's easy to forget, Zach, that this is the last week of January. Teams have really got to start setting themselves up for March Madness, which, by the way, we're going to be killing it. We're going to have so many shows, it's going to blow your mind coming up in March Madness. So a lot of teams having to position themselves. Now, we did get an answer from our guy in India. He says NBA by far is the biggest bet on sport there. Thanks for the shout out. Definitely big Niners fans. Okay, big Niners fans in the NFL. It's amazing. I tell people all the time, I used to travel, as you guys know, with the WWE all over the world. Over 100 countries I traveled to. And it's amazing how small the world is. It really, really is. When you go there and you actually interact with their cultures, it's awesome. And I wish everybody could do it. All right, now, we've heard from 3 voices, but we have a 4th very important voice to hear from. Maestro, what do you got?
All right, I really like this play in college basketball tonight. I'm looking at Abilene Christian as a 5.5-point road favorite at UT Rio Grande Valley. And here's the thing. If you look at Abilene Christian, they started off super hot, first year in the WAC, couple of tough losses. And then you look at their schedule. They played every top team in the WAC so far. And at the same time they were going through this, one of their best players, Ariane Simmons, got COVID. He was out for 2 games. They get blown out by New Mexico State, blown out by Grand Canyon. He comes back against the top team in the WAC, Seattle. They lose by 10. He wasn't himself. Now he's back to normal. Last game, he was very productive. This guy is 6'5", 264. I mean, he is an amazing rebounder. They compare him to Mark Vidal. You remember the guy from Baylor who's now a tight end for the Chiefs. He's that kind of physical specimen. He can also shoot it from outside. He's back. They're playing one of the lower level teams. They forced 36 points off turnovers last game, got a nice 9-point win. I think they can get it done tonight. They're starting to play the bottom feeders now in the WAC, so I'm going to lay the points with Abilene Christian.
And this is where you start to take advantage of the schedule and get those wins in your back pocket and set yourself up for your conference tournament. My man Chad in the chat. We're talking about India. With his, how many people are in India? A billion people probably. And
Yes.
he says, "Hey,
Yes.
the NBA is big in Virginia too." Classic Chad in the chat. All right, we are up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s. Maestro's on Abilene Christian minus the 5.5. Then M squared. This is a tournament matchup, not a first round matchup. Will Zalatoris over Scotty Scheffler. Then, if you want more golf or anything from M squared, become a SportsLine member. Then Jay Smooth, 2 plays from college hoops today. George Mason plus the 3. And let's go St. Joe's minus the 3.5. The Zacatau, just 1 play. East Tennessee State minus the 3. Then the AB 3 today is Tennessee, Virginia, and Davidson. And then 1 play from SportsLine. We're going to go Clippers -1. Yes, a little bit nervous about the huge comeback last night and a letdown tonight. But they're playing the worst team in all of basketball. They should be able to cover the 1. All right, it is Wednesday. It is hump day. It's easy to lose focus, but that's not what we're going to do. There's only one thing left to do, and I think you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Wednesday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Jay Smooth, Zacatau, M Squared, the Maestro, of course, AB on the 1s and the 2s. I am the coach. To all your friends, you want to be educated? You want to be entertained? Right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.